Kevin Paulson, the Hunting Life Adventures podcast, and I'm standing here with Wayne Carlton, who's the father of elk calling in America. Wayne, how did you get started calling elk?
That's a great question. I moved out west in 1976 from Florida, and I actually cut my teeth on hunting wild turkeys. Back in those days, when I first started, there was no diaphragm calls at all, and then finally the diaphragms were introduced by Ben Rogers-Lee. I got one of them, and the turkeys they actually make a whistle, a key run, and just demonstrating that call and learning how to perfect it. And then elk hunting later, I said, I think that you can imitate an elk bugle actually with the diaphragm turkey call. And that's how we got started with elk bugling, and by using a turkey call. So I've got them here somewhere. Probably one of the better things to do is just let me show you.
Okay.
Again, this is a diaphragm call for turkey. With just that little whistle that turkeys make. You just exaggerate that to make a bugle. And if you do it with a grunt tube, it just sounds a lot bigger. I tell you, with a grunt tube this size, you won't call many elk in. Actually, if you call an elk in, he's pretty big, so you might want to be ready. But all it does is amplify the sound. So you can take that. It's hard to believe you can do that on a small diaphragm reed. But all you do is you're using your tongue to whistle on it just like you would whether it be a goose call or a coyote howl or a turkey call. Don't make any difference. It's just practice, and once you learn one thing, you can go from that to something else. But that's how we got started. We were turkey hunter, learned how to use the diaphragm turkey call to imitate those sounds. Then when I heard an elk bugle, I said, I think you can do it, and that's what we did. And I think we started in 1982 on the market.
Fantastic. So, now you're with Hunter Specialties now.
Right. We sold to Hunter Specialties 10 years ago. They were looking for a market in the West, and we had got our company up to a point that either we had to retool computer-wise in the way that we marketed, or we decided to sell. And Hunters, they offered a good program, and for us to still be with Hunters 10 years later says a lot in itself. But they took the name Carlton and the elk calls, and they had enough money to brand that, and they've done a great job with it.
Fantastic. Now, you've also been a strong supporter of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation for many years.
Right.
Host of the Elk Country Journal.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about your partnership with the Elk Foundation and why it's so important to you.
The Elk Foundation started a year before I did in the business, and so I wasn't at their first convention. I didn't even know the Elk Foundation existed. But the second year, then I knew it existed, and I'm a firm believer that if you hunt it, you should also help conserve it. So I've been a member of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation for 24 years. I'm a life member, habitat partner, past board of directors. So I've been involved all these years, and again, the reason I'm involved is conservation, habitat protecting, and if you ever call an elk in, especially in the high country, there's a lot of things that goes on. An elk is majestic. The mountains they live in is just breathtaking. The canyons they go down in are breathtaking, especially when you're coming out. So you put the whole spin on it. If you hunt it, you need to help conserve it.
Fantastic. Wayne, how can people get a hold of your elk calls?
You can get a hold of our elk calls through hunterspec.com or either Wayne at camowest.com.
Fantastic. Wayne, thank you very, very much.
Thanks for coming by. I appreciate that.
You got it.
You bet.
Please support our sponsors: Spot Messenger, Benchmaster, Pro Ears, Crossfire, Schnees of Bozeman, Montana, Sitka Gear, and a special thanks to Al Mead of Sonic Edge Productions. HuntingLife.com. Pursue your passions of hunting, conservation, and a well-lived life.